Hi friends, this is the continuation of previous video lectures. In the previous video lectures, we saw what are the classification of fluids and what is a fluid and some of the properties of fluids. So this is the continuation of the remaining properties of a fluids, and it is prepared by Jerome Nathan Gladson, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Savitha Engineering College. So now you must be very familiar with what is a fluid and what are the classification of fluid and what are some of the properties of fluid or the basic properties of fluid, such as mass density, specific weight, specific gravity and weight density. In this chapter or in this video lecture, we will be seeing what is the viscosity of a fluid. So what is the viscosity of a fluid? Just I'll put you a question. Take honey as an example. Does honey have high density or high viscosity? Think it over, and with that question we'll start what is the viscosity in a fluid flow, as we studied in the classification of fluids. And in real fluid, any fluid during motion, when it possesses a property of a friction or when it possesses the resistance towards the fluid in motion, then that property of a friction is called to be a viscosity. So technically we'll see what is this viscosity. The viscosity is also called as absolute viscosity. It is represented as mu. So viscosity is nothing but a measure of resistance to fluid flow as a result of intermolecular cohesion. Measure of resistance to the liquid as a result of intermolecular cohesion. Its unit is Newton second per meter square. Its unit is Newton second per meter square. So viscosity. Now before going to what is viscosity, just see the diagram which is given over here. When you see this diagram, this is nothing but the diagram of a Newtonian fluid. So on the x-axis I have taken velocity gradient. Velocity gradient is nothing but du by dy, where du is nothing but the change in velocity and dy is nothing but the change in height. Change in velocity and the changes in height or the distance. Now on my y-axis I have taken shear stress, and on my y-axis and on my x-axis I have taken the velocity gradient. And now if I draw a proportionality line, and why I am drawing a proportionality line is nothing but whatever or when a fluid undergoes or when a fluid is directly proportional to tau and du by dy, then such kind of fluid is called to be Newtonian fluid. Newtonian fluid or fluid that obeys Newton's law of viscosity. So with this graph we'll get the equation as tau is equal to mu into du by dy, where mu is the constant of proportionality and du is change in velocity and dy is the changes in a distance, and tau is nothing but the shear stress. With that Newton's law of viscosity, I'll take the viscosity formula as mu is equal to tau into du by dy. Unit is nothing but Newton second per meter square. Also here a point to be noted that is we have another term of viscosity, or it has another property of viscosity which is also called as the kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is represented by a small letter v or a nu, and it is represented or it is defined as the ratio of absolute viscosity and the density. The ratio of absolute viscosity and the density. So kinematic viscosity, the unit is meter square per second, and in poise I'll write the unit as 1 poise is equal to 0.1 Newton second per meter square, and 1 centipoise is equal to 10 to the power minus 2 poise, which is nothing but 10 to the power minus 3 Newton second per meter square. Please do not confuse with the term viscosity and kinematic viscosity. Both are different properties. So viscosity or absolute viscosity, it is represented as mu, which is nothing but a Newton's law of viscosity. It is obtained from the Newton's law of viscosity and the unit is Newton second per meter square. And kinematic viscosity is nu. It is nothing but the ratio of absolute viscosity and density, considering the density. And kinematic viscosity, its unit is meter square per second, and 1 poise is equal to 0.2 Newton second per meter square, and 1 centipoise is equal to 10 to the power minus 2 poise, which is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 Newton second per meter square. Now let us try to understand this viscosity in detail. Viscosity. From Newton's equation of viscosity, we have mu is equal to tau into du by dy. This is known as coefficient of viscosity or the absolute viscosity. Absolute viscosity is the term we are using for viscosity. It is the alternative term we are using for viscosity. And in viscosity, we will be studying or we will be taking the fluid as a Newtonian fluid. Only with the Newtonian fluid we will be taking it. Any fluid for which the absolute viscosity or a viscosity does not change with the rate of deformation. Any fluid, when there is no change with the viscosity with the rate of deformation, then that is called to be Newtonian fluid, and if there is a change, then that is called to be a non-Newtonian fluid. And kinematic viscosity, as we studied, it is nothing but the ratio between absolute viscosity and density, and nu is equal to mu by p, mu by rho, and it is called so because the force is not involved. The only dimensions are length and time. Length and time. Here the force is not involved here. So kinematic viscosity. So this is the unit for kinematic viscosity, meter square per second, and the definition is the ratio of viscosity to the density, and it will be found to be important in cases in which a significant viscous and gravitational force exists. Okay, the values for kinematic viscosity are: for water it is 1.14 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square per second, and 1.46 into 10 to the power 5 meter square second is for air. In general, you need to know that the viscosity of a liquid, the viscosity or the absolute viscosity of a liquid decreases with increase in temperature, whereas viscosity of gases increases with increase in temperature. So this is the important formula that we need to know it, or important term that you need to know it. So the major difference between absolute viscosity and kinematic viscosity are: for most of the fluids, for absolute viscosity, it is independent of pressure, whereas in kinematic viscosity will have an influence of pressure because of the changes in density. Now let us see a problem. It is clearly given that a reservoir of oil has a mass of 825 kg. So mass is equal to 825 kg. The reservoir has a volume of 0.917 meter cube. It is nothing but a volume which is equal to 0.917 meter cube. Compute the density, specific weight and specific gravity of oil. So we need to find out what is density, what is specific weight, and what is the specific gravity of the oil. So before approaching this problem, we have to find out, we have to write the given data, and we need to identify what is the parameters that we need to find out, or what is the property that we need to find out. So here everything involves the formula substitutions. So rho is equal to, it is nothing but density. First we will be finding out density, which is nothing but mass per volume. So mass is given in the problem, volume is given in the problem. Just substituting the value 825 divided by 0.917, which is equal to 900 kg per meter cube. And the second one is specific weight. It is represented as gamma. So gamma oil is equal to weight by volume. So weight, it is nothing but mg, and mass into the gravitational force divided by volume. So we know that m by v, that is nothing but a mass by volume, is nothing but density. So I'll rewrite this formula as mg by v is equal to rho by g. mg by v is equal to rho by g. So rho we know, 900 into 9.81, so which is equal to 8829 Newton per meter cube. The third thing we need to find out specific gravity. Specific gravity, it is nothing but the ratio of two densities. One is the density of oil and the second one is the density of standardized liquid. And density of oil is what we found out, it is nothing but 900 kg per meter cube, and density of water at standard temperature and pressure is nothing but 998, so it is equal to 1000, and the 900 divided by 998 or 1000 is equal to 0.9. So this is a simple problem. This involves all the formula substitutions. So once if you are very clear with the formulas and the units, then solving the problems is very easy.